Hello, and welcome to the first video of the Strong Girls. I'm Louzziej, and me and Steffi write an article every Wednesday, and we also post a YouTube video about something concerning health, nutrition, lifting, and everything we just care about and love writing, learning, and informing about. So this week's video is going to be about the difference between men and women considering lifting and nutrition. It was quite complicated, but we're going to take you through it and let you know what we discovered. So first, come and let me explain a little from my point of view. So, as powerlifting, bodybuilding, and a lot of other sports are mainly male-dominated, most of the information concerning lifting and nutrition is still focused on that gender. But what are the differences and which should be considered for women? A lot of the information may be seen on YouTube, in books or articles, but like we said again, most of them are for men, and as a female, it's not always clear how you should adapt to those facts. We will split this week in 3 questions. The topics will be, first of all, what is the differences and where do they come from? The hormonal differences. Second of all, how does this really affect us in lifting and difference? Are we stronger, are we weaker, and why? Third, what about metabolism and food and fat burning and fat consumption? How does this affect us? All of these topics will be spoken of. Let me just take you to my computer where I will draw it out for you. What better program to do that than Paint? Let's start by saying that there are a lot of similarities between men and women related to how they react to lifting and nutrition. But there are also some major differences. Obviously, the major differences are related to hormones. We're not going to look at the functions of all the different hormones because the female hormone balance is really complicated and, well, let's say that what's interesting to know are the effects, so let's have a look at those. There are hormones in the body that make a man, and there are hormones that make a woman. The main male hormone, testosterone, is the one responsible for muscle mass. Women have 1/10 of this testosterone level that men have, so naturally, women can build less muscle overall than men. Women do have more of the female sex hormone estrogen. These are also responsible for female cycles, and they change the primary fuel used during exercise from carbs to fat in women. If you want more information about this, read the article below. But this hormone also encourages glucose uptake into muscle fibers, a larger amount of energy in their muscles. So just eat that banana. Estrogen also makes women store more body fat than men. They also store it rather in the hips, the butt, the legs, and not like the men do, mostly in their belly. Women do this because they store vitamins and nutrients in their fat, which can be very useful for pregnancy. Everything to protect their baby. They tend to have about twice the fat of men, but it doesn't mean that that's unhealthier. Women have more fat stored between the muscles and the skin, while men have fat that's stored around the organs. This is also the type of fat that increases the risk on diseases. In addition to that, a very low body fat percentage in women has a negative influence on sport performances and recovery. Because of the testosterone differences, women will never have as much muscle mass or become as strong as men, naturally spoken. But women also have a different muscle composition. Muscles are built up of 3 types of fibers. We won't go into detail here, but you can find it in our article. Just know that women have more fibers that are better for long-lasting exercise and they have better infused by the bloodstream. Together with the higher estrogen levels, that means that women can do and use up larger glucose amounts than men. Another difference is the neuromuscular efficiency. In other words, how well is the nervous system able to recruit muscle fibers? In men this works really well, but in women it's just less efficient. In training this will mean that, for example, if a man lifts 90% of his maximum weight, 90% of his muscles are recruited and are used. If a woman lifts 90%, then there aren't 90% of her total muscle fibers recruited. It's less. Let's compare this to a battery. Let's say you have one battery for a 1 repetition max. And you want to release all of the energy in that 1 RM repetition. Men have that better nervous system, so then they could release all of their energy for their 1 rep max. Because of the woman's nervous system isn't that effective, therefore they wouldn't be able to release all the battery's energy for that 1 RM max, 1 repetition. Women would have more energy stored left for the, let's say, a 5 RM. So if they want to do a 5 repetition max, they would become closer to their maximum power level than men would. In example, a man would have 100 kilograms maximum for 1 repetition, but his 5 RM could be like 30 kilograms. And for a woman, it would be like a 70 kilogram and a 60 kilogram for their 5 repetition max. Obviously, women need to eat less calories overall because they're smaller and have less muscle mass. They just don't need as much calories to maintain and build muscle. This is because they do this at a lower speed. In a fasted state, men and women burn similar amount of carbs and fat. After eating, women preferably store fat and burn glucose. During training, they burn a greater amount of fat, and after training, this switches back to glucose again. For men, though, this seems to be the complete opposite. The larger glycogen stores in their muscles and the greater proportion of type 1 fibers, this is the type of fiber we described women have more, make women more insulin sensitive. Therefore, women can deal better with a large amount of carbs during exercise.
Well, that was a lot of information, wasn't it? So let me just quickly summarize this for you. We have 6 takeaway points from this video for you. Number 1. A woman and a man who have the same body size, the same muscle mass, and the same body fat will produce similar results in the gym. Number 2. The main gender differences can be explained by differences in sex hormones and muscle fiber type. In more detail, number 3, women have less testosterone but more estrogen than men, which leads to less and slower muscle growth, but also less fatigue during exercise and a better metabolism. Number 4, women should include higher up accessory work into their training programs. But number 5, they can also deal with more carbohydrates in their diet. And finally, number 6, binge eating might be related to an imbalance in estrogen levels. So if you deal with that, then maybe have a look into that. But also don't forget that you're an individual and your ideal body composition might be different from the ideal body composition of the girl next to you. So as long as you're healthy and you're happy and you're getting results in the gym, just be happy with it and don't compare yourself to others. If this was still not enough information for you and you would like to read more about it, then please go to our website, thestrong.com. There we posted an article with more details and more information and also references to other articles. If you like this, then please like and subscribe here on YouTube, on our website, on Facebook and on our Instagram channels. And we'll post our next video next Wednesday again, and we'll hope to see you there again.